Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm doing everything right, so why do I still feel like I'm slowing down? Maybe you take a daily walk around the neighborhood, just like the doctor recommended. You keep moving, keep the blood flowing, try to stay on your feet. But somehow, your energy isn't quite the same. Your joints feel stiffer, your balance feels just a bit off, and stairs seem taller than they used to. You're not alone. In fact, this is one of the most common misconceptions about aging and movement, that walking alone is enough to keep us strong after 70. For years, we've been told that walking is the best low-impact exercise for seniors. And while walking is a powerful tool for senior health, here's the hard truth. After 70, walking by itself is not enough. Think about it like this. Walking is like putting gas in your car, it keeps it running. But without regular maintenance, oil changes, and tire checks, even the most reliable car starts to break down. Your body works the same way. So today, we're diving into what you need to add to your routine after 70 to stay sharp, steady, and independent. And no, this doesn't mean hours in the gym or expensive equipment. What it does mean is training smarter, not harder. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to include in your day to avoid common age-related issues like muscle loss, falls, and fatigue, and to feel like yourself again. Let's start with a story. Jim is 74, living just outside of Chicago. Every morning, rain or shine, he walks 2 miles around his neighborhood. He's proud of it, and he should be. But recently, he noticed something. Despite his walking, he's been feeling weaker. Last week, he struggled to get out of his favorite recliner. Carrying groceries up the front steps left him winded. His daughter, Sarah, started to worry. "Dad," she asked one day, "are you doing anything besides walking?" That's the moment Jim realized he'd been missing something big. And he's not the only one. The first thing many seniors need to add? Strength training. Now, before you tune out, no, this doesn't mean lifting heavy barbells or turning into a bodybuilder. Strength training for seniors can be as simple as bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or even lifting a bag of rice while watching TV. The point is this. After 70, we lose up to 15% of our muscle mass every decade if we don't actively work to maintain it. That's not just about looking fit, it's about being able to stand up from a chair, pick up your grandchild, or carry your own groceries without help. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults who included resistance training just twice a week had significantly better mobility, balance, and even cognitive health compared to those who didn't. Let's go back to Jim. Once he started using light dumbbells and a resistance band, doing just 15 minutes every other day, he noticed a change within weeks. His legs felt sturdier. Getting out of his chair wasn't a challenge anymore. And most of all, he felt in control of his body again. That's what strength training gives you: control, confidence, the ability to say, "I've got this," when life asks more of you. And here's something else most people don't realize: strength supports balance. Which brings us to the second thing you must add after 70, balance training. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury and loss of independence for seniors. But here's the thing, most falls aren't just accidents. They're a sign that your body's internal GPS, your ability to know where your body is in space, is fading. And without specific training, it will continue to fade. Balance isn't just about standing on one leg. It's about the connection between your muscles, your brain, and your reflexes. Think of Helen, a retired librarian from Arizona. At 77, she tripped on her welcome mat and broke her wrist. It was a simple misstep, but it shook her confidence. She started avoiding walks altogether, afraid it might happen again. Her doctor recommended simple balance exercises, things like standing on one foot while brushing her teeth, walking heel to toe along a line on the floor, or doing gentle Tai Chi. Within months, Helen wasn't just walking again, she was dancing at her granddaughter's wedding. Balance training can be woven into your everyday life. Stand up without using your hands. Turn your head side to side while standing still. Close your eyes while standing on both feet and feel your body adjust. These little challenges wake up the systems that protect you from falling. If walking is fuel, then strength and balance are your brakes and steering. And what about your core? That's the third piece, core stability. Your core isn't just about abs. It's your back, hips, and pelvis, the powerhouse that supports every movement you make. When your core is weak, you'll feel it in your posture, your breathing, even in your digestion. A strong core helps you stand tall, breathe deeper, and move with grace. Ronald, a 72-year-old grandfather of 5 from Oregon, used to think core meant sit-ups. He hated them. But then a physical therapist showed him a new way. Simple exercises like pelvic tilts, seated leg lifts, or just holding a gentle plank on the wall. He didn't just feel stronger, he stood taller. His back pain faded. And his grandkids noticed. "Grandpa," one of them said, "you look younger." That's the power of core work. Let's pause here for a moment. You may be wondering, do I really need to add all of this? Here's the truth. If your goal is to live, not just survive, if you want to maintain your independence, your dignity, your ability to travel, garden, play with grandkids, and walk with confidence, then yes. Walking is good. But walking with strength, balance, and core stability? That's where the magic happens. You've already taken the first step by staying active. Now it's time to build on that momentum. Start small. Add light weights to your walk. Pause to balance on one foot. Do a few core squeezes during a commercial break. You don't need perfection. You just need progress. Before we move on, let me ask you, where are you watching from today? Type it in the comments, we'd love to know. And if you found this helpful so far, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Here on Elderly Reflections, we're building a space of elderly wisdom, senior health, and real-life inspiration, because your journey, your motivation, your life lessons from the elderly deserve to be heard and honored. Let's keep going, because what we've talked about so far is just the beginning. So, now that you understand why strength, balance, and core stability matters so much after 70, let's keep building. Because there's still more you can add to truly transform the way your body feels and functions each day, beyond just walking. Let's talk about something often overlooked but deeply powerful. Mobility and flexibility. These are not just for dancers or yoga lovers. For seniors, mobility is the ability to reach up into a cupboard without shoulder pain, to bend down and tie your shoe without feeling stuck halfway, to twist and look behind you when backing out of the driveway. After 70, your joints start to tighten, your tendons lose elasticity, and your range of motion decreases, unless you actively work to preserve it. And no, stretching once in a while after a walk doesn't cut it. Marjorie, 81, living in the English countryside, used to love gardening. But over the years, she found herself struggling to kneel, reach, or stand for long periods. Her back ached, her knees were stiff, and she started wondering if she had to give up the garden altogether. But then she began a simple morning mobility routine, nothing fancy, just 10 minutes of slow shoulder rolls, seated twists, gentle hip openers, and neck stretches. Within a month, she was back tending her roses with a smile on her face. "I thought I was just getting old," she said. "Turns out, I was just getting stiff." Mobility exercises don't have to be long or complex. A few gentle moves every day can keep your joints young, your muscles fluid, and your body responsive. Try arm circles while waiting for your tea to steep. Roll your ankles in bed before getting up. Do a slow spine twist while sitting on the couch. These small moments add up. And here's something few people talk about. Breathing. Yes, breathing. It sounds simple, we all do it. But after 70, many seniors fall into shallow chest breathing without realizing it. This weakens your lungs, lowers oxygen intake, increases fatigue, and even affects your posture and digestion. Walking can't fix that. But intentional breathing can. Paul, a 79-year-old veteran from Minnesota, had begun feeling short of breath during everyday tasks. His doctor said his lungs were healthy, but he still struggled. A respiratory therapist introduced him to diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing. Paul practiced for 5 minutes a day, slowly inhaling through his nose, expanding his belly, then exhaling gently through pursed lips. 2 weeks later, he could walk further without stopping. 3 weeks in, he was sleeping better. I had no idea how much breathing could change my energy, he told me. And that's exactly it. Breathing is your body's power source, but only if you're doing it right. Try this right now. Sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Take a deep breath. Which hand moves more? If it's your chest, you're not using your full lung capacity. Practice shifting that breath downward, expanding the belly, then letting it gently fall. Do this for just 5 minutes a day and you'll feel the shift. Now, let's go deeper. There's one more element that people often forget to add to their routine after 70, but it may be the most important of all. Neuromotor training. Don't let the fancy term scare you. It simply means doing movements that challenge your brain and body together. Think of dancing, juggling, stepping over obstacles, or learning a new movement pattern. These activities sharpen your coordination, reaction time, and brain health. A study from the Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience journal found that seniors who practiced dual-task movements, like walking while reciting words or balancing while reaching, had better memory, lower fall risk, and higher independence than those who didn't. Let's look at Barbara, 76, from Montreal. She joined a weekly dance class at her community center. It wasn't just fun, it was life-changing. The steps challenged her memory, her body coordination, her rhythm. After 2 months, she wasn't just dancing, she was moving more confidently, remembering names better, and laughing more. That's the magic of neuromotor activity. It reminds your brain that it's still young, still learning, still growing. And when your brain stays young, your body follows. So how can you add this to your routine? Try brushing your teeth while balancing on one foot. Walk while naming animals that start with each letter of the alphabet. Do simple side steps while tossing a soft ball from hand to hand. Play games that make you move and think at the same time. These aren't just cute tricks, they're essential tools to keep you vibrant. Let's pause again, because by now you might be thinking, that sounds like a lot. How do I fit it all in? The key is not to do everything at once. It's to build habits that fit your rhythm. Stack a few of these ideas into your existing routine. Add strength work on Monday and Thursday. Do balance exercises while the kettle boils. Practice breathing during your morning quiet time. It's not about overhauling your life, it's about layering in what your body truly needs. Because after 70, walking isn't the whole picture. To live fully, independently, and with energy, you need more than steps. You need strength, stability, flexibility, breath, and brain-body connection. You're not just keeping your body moving. You're preserving your freedom. You're saying, I am still capable. I still have control. I can still grow stronger. And I want to leave you with this: every effort you make, no matter how small, is an act of self-respect. Every time you choose to lift your legs, flex your hands, practice a deep breath, it's not just exercise. It's your way of telling the world, I'm still here. I still matter. Before we continue, I'd love to know, what's one thing you've done this week to take care of your health? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if this video has been helpful. Here on Elderly Reflections, we believe in motivation, quotes, inspiration, and real-life lessons from the elderly that uplift and empower, because your story is powerful. We've talked about what your body needs physically, but there's one more thing left to explore. Something deeper, more personal, and just as essential. Let's continue. Let's keep going, because there's one final piece to this puzzle, and it might just be the most important of all. Everything we've talked about so far, strength, balance, flexibility, breathing, and brain-body coordination, builds a stronger physical foundation. But here's a truth not many talk about. Your mindset, your purpose, and your emotional health play just as big a role in your longevity as any exercise ever could. After 70, many seniors begin to ask a quiet question inside. What's next for me? The kids are grown, careers have slowed or ended, and society often stops expecting much from you. But here's the thing, they're wrong. This chapter of life can be one of the most powerful if you choose to write it that way. Let me tell you about Antonio, an 80-year-old man from Portugal. After retiring, he felt lost, like so many do. Walking was his only daily activity, but he still felt tired, restless, even lonely. His daughter suggested he try volunteering at a local community garden. At first, he shrugged it off. "I'm too old for that," he said. But eventually, he gave it a shot. The transformation was stunning. He wasn't just walking anymore, he was bending, digging, lifting, connecting with younger volunteers, teaching them how to grow tomatoes. He came home with dirt on his hands and a smile on his face. "I feel alive again," he told me. "More than I have in years." And that's the final thing you must add after 70. Purposeful movement tied to something you love. Because walking on its own can become a chore. But when you tie movement to a mission, whether it's tending a garden, dancing with your spouse, walking a dog from the shelter, or helping someone learn, you're not just exercising your body. You're exercising your soul. Purpose is fuel. It keeps you sharp, engaged, resilient. And studies back this up. Research from the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors with a strong sense of purpose had lower levels of inflammation, better mobility, fewer falls, and even longer lifespans. Not only that, they were happier. Think about it. Your body follows your mind. A hopeful, purposeful brain tells your body, "Let's keep going." A discouraged one whispers, "What's the point?" That whisper can do more damage than any disease. So if you're still walking but wondering why you're not feeling better, ask yourself, what am I walking toward? Let's not forget the power of connection either. The seniors who thrive, who live longer, sharper, fuller lives, are the ones who don't walk alone. They build relationships, find community, and share their journey. Human connection is a kind of medicine no pill can replace. Look at Grace, 78, from North Carolina. She started a walking group in her neighborhood. What began as 3 women strolling slowly together turned into a group of 12 meeting 3 times a week. They shared stories, laughter, recipes, and yes, occasional tears. But what mattered most was that they had each other. One of the women, Martha, said it best. "I don't just walk for my health anymore. I walk for my friends." You don't need a big group to start. A neighbor. A phone call. Even a dog. Just something, or someone, that makes movement meaningful. And here's one more powerful addition. Joy. Joy is more than a feeling, it's a life force. Dancing to your favorite old song in the kitchen, laughing until your belly hurts, playing a silly game with your great-grandkids. These things count. They stimulate your immune system, reduce stress hormones, and flood your brain with dopamine, the feel-good chemical that keeps you mentally young. Remember, elderly doesn't mean less. It means more stories, more lessons, more depth. You carry elderly wisdom in every wrinkle, every memory, every quiet strength. That wisdom deserves to be honored, not hidden. But it starts with honoring yourself. That's what this entire message is about. You've spent a lifetime walking through storms and sunshine. You've raised families, built careers, overcome heartache, celebrated victories. Now, it's time to walk for you. But not just walk. Strengthen. Breathe. Stretch. Laugh. Learn. Connect. Inspire. Because after 70, walking is no longer just a way to move, it's a symbol of your commitment to keep going. Let's bring it all together. If you're over 70, here's what walking alone may be missing, and what you should add starting today. Add strength to stay independent longer. Add balance to avoid falls and fear. Add core work to move with control. Add mobility to reach, bend, and stay free. Add breathing to energize your body and mind. Add brain-body movements to stay sharp and alert. And most of all, add purpose, connection, and joy, the invisible forces that make every step meaningful. Let this be your reminder that it's never too late to feel stronger. Never too late to start again. Never too late to add something new that helps you live better, longer, and happier. So here's my question to you. What will you add to your life this week? Comment below and share your answer. I read every one of them. And your journey may inspire someone else to take their first step too. And if this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. This is Elderly Reflections, a place where senior health, motivation, quotes, inspiration, and real-life lessons from the elderly come together to remind you. You are not alone. You are still powerful. And your story still matters. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to walking, not just for the sake of movement, but for the sake of meaning. You've earned every step. Keep walking forward, with strength, with wisdom, and with love.